Women Involvement in Blockchain. Moderated by Vasilisa Marinchuk, Center Blockchain de Catalunya.
Right, so beautiful ladies, thank you for being part of this panel. I'm also being very happy to be here for the second day of AIBC. So it's women involvement in blockchain. I think it's an interesting discussion, which followed by a very interesting keynote of Megan. So ladies, let's start with the introductions. And this time I don't want it to be super short. I want it to be a very good introduction. Who you are, what are you doing, why are you in blockchain? So let's start with you.
Thanks. So, here it's working. I'm Aleksa. I have legal background, but I built my career in tech startups, in operational roles. I started my blockchain journey through a DAO where I assumed an operational role, and from there on I learned about DAOs, decentralization, the fundamentals, and what DAOs can do and what they can build. And today I'm managing director at WACEO, which is a DAO focused on profit that provides decentralized projects with frameworks for compliance, legality, risk management, and prevention, and also founder of the WACEO token, a legal and compliance reserve currency, as well as women empowerment in Web3 that aims to educate legal professionals on Web3 and have better statistics for the female representation.
Thank you, Aleksa. Jaguar, you jumped on that panel very last moment, but it's great to have you here. Can you talk about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Jaguar Egal. I'm a CPA and CEO of Jaguar Lawyers, Jaguar Reg & Comp, and Jaguar CPAs. I've been in the crypto business ever since I've seen the light of a lot of my fintech clients coming to me at 2015. I think only in a crypto business, being there for 7 years, you're considered a veteran, right? So beforehand, I was CFO or general counsel and COO of several startups, 3 of which I've led exits in. But these were old world of equity and regular money and regulated money in that sense. And I do legal work and regulation and compliance advisory. And I advise entrepreneurs and crypto, fintech, NFT companies regarding in which country to be incorporated, and then international taxation and how to get banked, which is not given in our industry. So it's what I do, it's what I love.
Thank you so much. And Megan, I think that this time you can elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, I felt like I had to go so fast last time because I want to give as much value as possible. So my name is Megan, Crypto Megan on social media, and I'm a high-end crypto and NFT consultant for not only portfolios, but also helping them bridge their companies from Web 2 to Web 3. So that's celebrities, investors, companies, and their multi-million-dollar portfolios. And the reason why I say that is because I recently decided I don't want that to be reserved for the people at the top. I think there's a big problem with how people are being onboarded and the lack of education. So I decided to go on a world tour to the world's leading events and try to help with that education and giving people quality information they can trust and advocating for women. And I just wanted to do a point on how the women advocating for women came about, because obviously I'm all about it, and I love being on supportive panels where the women are just doing their thing and rising, and I love to see that. So most of the people I consult for are middle-aged males, and their wives oftentimes are either staying at home taking care of the children or not involved in a career at the moment. And so I took some of their wives, decided to say, hey, you and I can do our thing together too. Let me help you. No, for me, that's not what I do. And so I think that I do. And so I think that, and then I saw there's a real issue here with the communication of what this movement is all about, which is about empowering creators, about freedom, about being able to maximize your skill set that can be ported into Web3. So then I said, no, you and I will do something. Their face lights up when they realize, wow, not only can they have this financial kind of independence, but it's something they're really interested in. So I think it's really important to do panels like these with powerhouse women like yourselves. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, and finally myself. So my name is Vasilisa Marinchuk, as you already saw. I've been in crypto space since 2016. Did many things, was in payments. At a certain point I decided that education is super important. That's when I started with some again, with males a lot, but still we started to do the events, like educational events. So now for the 4 years already, we're running a conference, Democracy for All, Blockchain for Governance, because we don't want to show that the crypto is only, like blockchain is not only crypto, it's much, much more. So there I'm a director. I'm also director of international relations for the Central Blockchain of Catalonia. I'm working with the blockchain protocols. I'm basically heading the partnerships and communications for the MENA hub region of the BSV blockchain. I'm advising startups. I'm working with different like metaverse, with Web3, everything. So involved in many, many things and learning a lot. And it's true, and I agree with you ladies that, especially what Megan was saying, that you come to the women, and originally it's not that they are not welcomed in the space, they're very much welcomed, but they, in their perception, they think that, oh, it's Web3, it's tech, it's too much, it's not something I know, it's not something which I'm interested in, and they don't really get the point that it's not just that you have to have particular education and interest, you can be actually very much empowered, but you can do anything in Web3. So my next question will be, and I probably will start with Aleksa, how did your personal journey start? Why, when you decided that, wow, blockchain is something interesting? What was the sparkle inside?
Well, I think it just like, was one of those moments when you get into something and it changes your life, right? So that's what happened to me. I got a role in a DAO, and I fell in love with decentralization, with the industry, what it represents, what it can build, what it can create. And from there on, I just continued my journey. But like, I just have to go back to what you said about like, women being involved in blockchain industry in general, right? Like in Web3. To be honest, like I would disagree with you when you say that women are welcomed here. Like, I would definitely hope that's a general feel, but unfortunately it's not, right? So if we go wider and look at the tech industry, right? So if you go to the education, right? So like you have many, many women who do have, like for example, engineering degree, and they go find a job, but they just don't stay at work. It's not because they are afraid of tech or the finance, just like generally the culture across tech industry is not, it's not really supportive of women. I'm not saying like 100%, but a really huge percentage of it. And I've been in tech industry like my whole career, and I've seen the differences how men and women are treated. Of course, like there are amazing, amazing men that are supportive of women, but it's unfortunately largely that's not the case. And when I got to blockchain, I actually I was never a type of a person that would be like a male dominated or whatever. Like I think that's BS, right? But it did happen that I was discriminated and being like invisible, when I'm sitting with my male coworkers, right? So I just like what I would say wouldn't be taken into account, right? So, and that would happen more than often. So, I mean, I do think I have something to say, right? So, but like generally the relationship, the behavior that was towards me and that was towards some male coworkers, it was a lot different. And it's not only the case, like one of my team members was told, like, you're a woman, like, what are you doing? Why do you want to be in tech? Like, go and cook lunch, right? So, I mean, like I'm definitely happy to hear that you've had such a supportive experience like with men in tech and in blockchain, but unfortunately not many women do have that luck, and not many women have the attitude, well, I don't give a fluff, right? So I will show up and do what I want, right? So it's our job, like it's the role of us that do have that attitude to support the women that do need to feel supported and empowered to come to the industry and build here.
That's very interesting experience that you had. I mean, and thank you so much for sharing that, because that's true. Like in my case, and I've been like in many industries in the past. I've been in male industry. I've been in automotive, in telecoms. I've been in petrochemicals, guys, which is like, that's a rocket science, to be honest. Very male dominated for many years, decades, whatever. And in blockchain, I actually saw many more women, and they've been very supportive from what I saw. And I also supported the ladies who were coming, but again, I would never push anybody to do something they don't want. So anyways, Jaguar, Megan, please jump on board, like share your experiences. How did you enter the industry? How the industry was towards you? Did you feel discriminated at any point, or you've been supported? That's actually very interesting.
I can reveal something interesting about the Hebrew language. I'm from Israel. Hebrew language distinguishes between male and female, not only on nouns, but on verbs. And within the startingly Bitcoin and then crypto industry, in all WhatsApp groups, or most WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups, they refer to Bitcoin in a feminine way. They refer to the blockchain in a feminine way. I think it started even before my time, as a way to endorse and bring in more women to the industry. And the industry, at least the groups I'm part of, the joint groups, are very welcoming to women on purpose. And they're trying to use even the new Hebrew that entails male and female together. And I do believe some of the corresponding and the communication and the language is male-ish. But, it's been thousands of years like that. But it is very much endorsing and embracing. Sometimes there's a lot of unawareness, but that's fine. So what I've experienced is an embracement, really. In Israel, we have about less than 5, I would say even 4 only service providers who are ladies, either accountants, CPAs, or lawyers. And we are considered the blockchain Amazons or the blockchain league kind of, and we are very much invited everywhere. So, and being listened to as well. So it's not that I disagree with the set experiences. I know they exist. However, I think, and that refers to your definition and description of the ladies of the other men that you're serving, is it depends on your character. I have a kind of a character, I was born like that, that says, the kind of characters that says not necessarily for anything. I don't take as given anything. So having that kind of a personality and needing the adrenaline and being a control freak. So I love the programming part of it and the ability to control and to take full sole responsibility on your actions. That has led me to that industry. And had I had another personality, which is more submissive, more listening to others, more dependent on other income or other people, then it wouldn't matter in what industry I would be. I would just not show up there and would not be on panels, I would not fly over, etc. Another example is that I get many offers from major, big four, whatever, CPA firms, accounting firms, or law firms to merge into them, to merge my firm to them. And I really, maybe you guys can explain that to me. They are totally shocked by the fact that I get on a plane, I fly to a conference, and I speak. And I'm still searching to see what is the big deal that I'm doing. What am I to be applauded at? And then they're saying that you're doing this as a woman. I didn't find anything in a hotel or in the airplane that's different for women, right? So I think it is about personality, and that will come either to the kind of women or maybe that you're meeting who are married to those kind of people that might be different. And I think it can be changed psychologically. But this is psychology. It's not about blockchain. It's not about just tech, in my opinion. It's social psychology and personality. So sorry, that was a long answer, but I had a full belly on this.
Thank you very much. I actually before I pass it to Megan, was just revealing my own experience. It's like the Center Blockchain of Catalonia, for example, was created 2 years ago. It was like we were around 10 founders, 10 or 12 founders, because it's a center. It's working with the government, so it's like an association. I was the only woman there, and I was non-Catalan. So it's a center for Catalonia. I'm non-Catalan. I'm not in Spanish, right? And I didn't even think about that time. We're doing cool things. We're doing something important for that region. That was what was important for me. And only after, when everything was done, I was like actually sitting there, and people were like, how did you end up there? I don't know. I don't know. I was just there because I wanted to do things and people were happy to do things with me. So I think the attitude matters a lot. But anyways, Megan, your turn. Please share your story.
Thank you all for sharing your amazing viewpoints and your experiences. And I also think that this depends on the lens that you approach it with and the background that you're coming from and also, personality. So just to reference your other question, how I got into this, I did a master in 2009, digitization of companies, founded by Google. So we were just moving into the internet in Spain. I lived in Spain. I do live in Spain. And a few years later, they flew over some developers from the blockchain and blockchain developers, and I thought, wow, this is so amazing. This is so cool. And it was there. The seed was in my mind. I then went on to want to learn more about investing. So I did thousands of hours of audiobooks, Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, all the big guys. And none of it convinced me. I thought, there's got to be something different. And so then I came across the crypto segment again. And that's where I revisited it and went down the rabbit hole and I never came back up. And since that day, I've had an undying conviction in what I do, in what this stands for and the power that it has. And so from that belief, that core, unshakable belief is how I've approached this market and this whole thing. And so from there, it kind of evolved into this thing where I'm managing my own portfolio. I did a really amazing job, and now I'm giving lectures at our country club, who was predominantly male. Now it's half female. I do them monthly, so that's a good improvement. And what I can say is it does take a lot of courage to step up and be, managing portfolios of multi-million dollars for men who are CEOs and also hedge fund managers in their traditional jobs. So it takes courage and it takes conviction and it just takes the will to get in there and be like, take my space. I'm going to take my space. I'm going to sit here. I know the value that I have and I'm here. And it's not always easy. But I think that what we're doing on these panels is helping, at least my hope is to help other women have that courage and a conviction to go through with this. And so I think it's also just the support of the women around you. My mom was one of my first supporters. I think women are really curious by nature. My husband supports me. He travels with me all over the world. And yes, crypto is exclusionary. There's a lot of language, it's predominantly male. I can say that. I'm a member of Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And I give this example all the time. And in the Discord, the chat where everybody goes, they call me bro, homie, dude, even though my name is Megan. And so I get that it is, they're used to males being males, but what have we done about it? We've created a private group called Bored Ape Ladies. There's about 80 of us. It's all the women in Bored Ape Yacht Club, and we have a brunch called Not a Plus One. Because every time we go to events, they assume we're the plus ones of the holders of Bored Apes, and we're, kind of making our statement that this is our place here. And that's what we have to do collectively as women, because they have so much to offer, and traditionally they haven't had the power to step up in these positions and be able to contribute their value. So it's the first time historically that women are being able to do that. So by us supporting them, having these conversations, being out with it, rallying around these things, having the brunch. One last point I'll make is the CEO of Yuga Labs, which is behind Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, is named Nicole Muniz. She's female and Latina, and the whole head of strategy, creative design, they're all female. So it's kind of Tim Draper, a billionaire investor here in America, said that the next bull run will be powered by women. So I think we should act accordingly, start looking into female-led projects, and really just get behind it. The men can help out too. Yeah.
May the good people win.
The men play a key role because they bring their women, the women in their lives into this industry. So I mean it. It's investing in female NFTs, powered NFTs like World of Women, Boss Beauties. That's going to be explosive next bull run, if for nothing else, to let you guys know.
As soon as the NFTs came, I think even more ladies moved into the space because it's art. It's artistic nature of the woman immediately corresponds. Something clicks here. Sorry.
You find community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that, the next bull run is powered by women. Love that, right? But I think in order for that to happen is there needs to be more VC investing and generally investing in female-founded projects, right? Because if you look at the statistics in the first 6 months of 2022, less than 2% of women, actually female crypto founders received funding, right? So where did the rest of the money go? to male founders, right? So there is like an obvious, right? So regardless of the personal feel, right? So whether we had a good or bad experience, I mean, you know, like there is no inclusion with exclusion, right? So the men and women have to be in this together. We need to support each other. Like the biggest supporters in my life in tech industries were actually men, but I saw that other women, they don't have as much support, right? So I was the one to be lucky, right, to have that support. And I see my role to actually support and empower other women, right, that have had bad experiences. And we cannot exclude women, other women, just because, oh, she's not strong enough to stand up, right? So, I mean, like, that's not for, like, you know, the best attitude that you can have in an industry and even environment, that it's all about building and the community, right? So this is not the run of the fiercest and the strongest, right? So this is an environment in which we can support some with more different resources to support those that might not have had opportunity to build up themselves as, you know, really, you know, strong bulls and just, you know, standing up for themselves. And I think like having that attitude towards women that do not have that are not loud about themselves is just not the way to go, and it's definitely the opposite. We should go definitely the opposite.
Sorry, you were done. I just wanted to interject. Like, I don't think that the point here is every woman should be strong and be able to rise for themselves. I think the point here is that those of us who are in these positions and who are building these communities need to encourage them to join. And that was my point. That was only my point. Is that we are building things that they can rally around and get involved with so they can rise up as well. And we are all paving the way for that by doing these talks around the world. That is what we're doing. We're building that.
Not only that, but we also have these communities. I mean, I'm sorry, but like there are many groups which live in different. Some of them live in LinkedIn, some of them live in Telegram and WhatsApps, whatever, where women support women, literally, a lot. They share in the experience, they share, I've been there, they bring it together, say, I'm talking here, do you want to come with me? Like, that's so easy, that's what we share, but maybe there is a point that you can give a hand, but always the other person must grab this hand. You cannot make the person. You can offer help, but if the help is not taken by one of the ladies, you cannot really push her forward and forward.
I must refrain a little bit, just a little bit, just to give another point of view. But don't get mad at me, but I think that we should not expect anyone else to give us women the place or to support or anything. We need to take it ourselves. And like women helping each other, it's the same like alumni of Ivy League will help each other because they're alumni of Ivy League, or the people who have come from whatever city, like people from New York, whatever, will help each other wherever they are, or Israelis wherever they are, just because we're of the same group, kind of. That this is why we help each other, because it's not because we're weaker. It's just because we are we. It's just it's existential. So I think blockchain and crypto is mainly based on self-responsibility, like having, if you forget your keys, your private keys, it's your loss and there's no one to help you about this, supposedly, then we should not count on anyone else. We should take the panels ourselves and then take the hallways and invite others as well, is to get more flexibility and more inclusion to that. Sorry.
I do not think there is inclusion with exclusion, right? So I think there needs to be, like, you know, men and women, like, you know, supporting each other, right? So I don't see why women wouldn't be supporting men and other way around, because, I mean, after all, we are in decentralized environment. We are a community-based, community-focused, community-led, community-powered environment, and there shouldn't be like a she community and he community. And let's see who supports each other, like, you know, who we're going to support within the group or not, right? So, like, I completely get your point, but, like, you know, that kind of reminds me, right? So the white support white, black support black, right? Well, no, like, it should be fully inclusive. Like, there should be diversity. There should be, like, collaboration between between the genders, between everything, right? And not just have, like, well, women will support women, right? So like screw men, right? So don't pay attention to them, right? Like that brings the mentality, oh, women are better than men. It's no, like we all bring different skills to the table, and in order to understand that, I mean, we need to be together in it, not just, you know, have one group power that group, like, you know, without having some intersection and overall support among each other.
Finally, I mean, we just have like few seconds left. Just to sum it up, I think I agree that there should be no exclusion. It's very great when we are working together. Only together we can actually reach the top, reach the moon. But at the same time, on the other hand, it's like, you know, maybe what the ladies meant here when saying about these communities, it's like we are different nationals here. We talk, I mean, we all talk English, speak English, but we all have our own language. And sometimes when you don't understand something in English, you can come to your native language and you say, hey, what he actually meant. And it's not because you want to be exclusive, it's just because you want a little bit of comfort. So what the women are trying sometimes to do as the other ones, they're trying to give comfort to each other to start their journey and to become a professional. Finally, everything will be, you are professional or you're not professional. If you are a woman but you do a shitty job, I'm sorry, you're out. Yeah. As much as if you're a man and you do it, you're out. That's it. Yeah. So,
Web3 knows no gender, it knows no race, it knows nothing. If you have value to provide, you step up, and hopefully we can provide that supportive group for you to be able to feel like you can do that, and together we will rise, right?
And best inspiration would be just to be there. Once we're there and we're successful and we're bringing value, then this will be the best inspiration.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. It's such a pleasure to meet you and share the stage.